we are doing whatever it takes. It's about giving your all. From the players on the field to the members in the stands. Do whatever it takes. Call 1300 GO Bombers.
Well, James, welcome back to your own backyard. Pretty good spot of land you lived in. I didn't know you were so well off in the early days. You never told me that.
No, well, I grew up, 200 metres from here, just to the house just around the corner, and I went to Campbell High School next door, so this was my backyard. Used to play footy just on that oval there. We tried to have a kick here, but it didn't go down very well.
In trouble?
So we got in trouble. As
As
10-year-olds, we got in trouble, so we went back to the oval. But a beautiful part of the world. This is one of my favourite places in the world. I think it's absolutely sensational.
And Anzac Day, Collingwood Essendon, you sort of just collected a few medals and annoy the Maggies. Do you ever think about your own upbringing?
Yeah, like Anzac Day in Canberra is very special, and crowds line up down Anzac Parade, and living so close, you had a bird's eye view of the ceremony, and it was a fantastic day.
So I suppose you're like me, that we always tied up, but we'll get to Gallipoli one day. Would you?
Yeah, I tried to go. No, I tried to go this year, but it didn't happen. But I'd love to take the players to Gallipoli and spend some time there. I think, particularly for all young Australians, it's something that would be great to do. But for young Essendon players and young Collingwood players, it's probably even more special considering what happens on Anzac Day between those two clubs. I know you would like GWS to play in that game now, but it's ours, and you can't have it back.
It's okay. We'll work around it. We can do a deal. A deal's possible.
Really?
Well, Collingwood, they drop off every now and then. They won't know what they're doing. They fall asleep sometimes, the Magpies. 2 premierships in 50 years. It's not a very good record.
No, it's not. No, but I'll let you fight that battle, Eddie. He's a bit big for me.
Eddie who?
I'll let you fight the battle.
Kevin, good to be back in Canberra and playing opposite Monica tomorrow night against Essendon.
I think it's great, to be honest. Just don't know whether to wear black and red or... No, I better not. Okay. So it is. It'll be a great game, and obviously under lights, first AFL game. That's fantastic from that point of view. I think the investment into the ground in itself was really well done by the Territory government. I think that's just pleasing from a point of view, because you can play obviously cricket, which we went to just recently, and that was a pretty good game and a great crowd. And I think that having a legend from the ACT here, and James, 5 times best and fairest of an AFL club, probably the best player since Jesaulenko, who was nominated into the AFL Hall of Fame, I think, a year ago, about. So, and he's going to try and win. So he just has no idea what's coming up tomorrow night. You do?
No, I know. There'll be tricks coming. Yeah. You told me to sit in our box.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
It's important, obviously, for the guys to get as familiar as possible with Monica Oval, given the fact there are 3 premiership games here this season.
Yeah.
It's different ground. Everything's different in the AFL when it comes to that.
Well, it is. You could see like the results over the years that other clubs have tried it. But we've played a little bit here lately, and we won our first game here last year. So we're looking forward to that. And of course, not long after we'll be playing St Kilda, so it's pretty important we play well.
And what can Canberrans expect from this year's GWS Giants team?
Well, I think that, look, we've just about won every quarter we've played so far, but unfortunately we got beaten in the last 30 seconds of both games. So that was very, very hurtful. I mean, the 2 teams that have beaten us in the NAB Cup are on top of the NAB Cup ladder by a total of about 5 points. So we've been very, very competitive, and I think that you'll see that side of it come out of these young players. They've been given a year. They're starting to learn a lot more. Obviously, they're bigger and they're running a bit harder, which is good. But the Bombers, they finally found their way to Wangaratta, Essendon. Took a year to find it. Yeah, they lose maps.
Have you been to Wangaratta recently?
I've been to maps. Okay. I've been to Wangaratta. I've actually met you and had a secret meeting with you last week. Is that correct?
That's true.
Colour treat, good. So we had our meeting at Wangaratta, and now it's public. Okay, Jim, well done.
Are you shocked by the latest revelations in rugby league, most recently with Cronulla?
Look, Cronulla, I don't know. I'll be honest. I come into town, I read it in the paper. Look, until investigations and all of these items get put on the table, we have no idea what's going to happen with sport in general. I mean, probably the biggest thing that happened to me, and obviously, is the Tour de France. And after that, I thought, wow, that's pretty serious. So we need to really closely look at all areas of not only AFL but all sports in general, and get our act together. Put it all on the table now in sport in Australia, and get the right attitudes with the right people, and get anybody in that area of sports science is not great. See you later and start again.
What are your thoughts on the matter, James, considering Stephen Dank left Cronulla to come to Essendon?
Look, I'm not sure what happened at Cronulla. We're obviously under an ASADA and AFL investigation. We've got an investigation of our own going on. Cronulla is something that they've got to deal with, and they'll deal with it.
But are you nervous about what's around the corner for you, considering what's happened at Cronulla?
No.
Just nervous about tomorrow night's game.
Do you think it's affected the players, or from what you've seen from the players so far in the NAB Cup, has it just gone straight over their heads?
I think it'd be unrealistic to say it's gone straight over their heads. There's an investigation going on, which is a very serious investigation, but our players have been very resilient, very confident. They've played some really good football at times, didn't play great on the weekend, but they're ready for a game against GWS that we've watched them play the last couple of weeks. They've been, they started really well at contested footy last year. This year their defence and their ball movement has been excellent, and they're developing into a terrific team. So I noticed that Sheeds has left out his two key forwards, probably not taking the Bombers seriously this week, but we're in for a big game.
That was nasty.
Given all the media speculation about everything, is it something that you want to openly talk to with the players about that and sort of try and, I guess, deal with it and move on in terms of football, or is it something that you're just not speaking about it as a group at the moment?
We're speaking about the investigation. Obviously, it's hard not to speak about the investigation, but we're also here to play football. The investigation will run its course. The facts will come out, the truth will come out. That's what the club, the supporters, what we want. And then we'll move on. But at the moment, there's an investigation going on, but we're going into a football season, and our training, our level of football has been of a very high standard, and I expect that to continue.
James, have you been questioned as yet in regards to this investigation?
I can't talk about our investigation.
Have there been any meetings similar to what ASADA had with Cronulla?
As I said, I can't talk about our investigation. I think if you want to know what's happened, ask ASADA.
Do you think this is a bit of a fishing expedition? Do you think they have any concrete evidence?
I think I've answered that question, and I just really can't talk about it. And you can ask questions, but if you want to know, ask ASADA and the AFL. That's where we've been guided to answer questions on this investigation.
Kevin, you must be thrilled with the pre-season at the moment. I mean, some very close results. Essendon, that's winnable tomorrow night.
Oh, look, I think it's just great to have Essendon here. It's been a while to get. It's great to have a great club here. Obviously, I know the club pretty well, and I think in general, it's really important that we get really top quality clubs coming into Canberra, and obviously Hurdy being a former Canberrian, that just adds a little bit of flavour to it. 5 best and fairest, it's a hell of a big effort out of a kid from Canberra, and and we're looking at some of the great players that come through here, and people in the AFL have been here over the years, and you see young Hamill come through, Justin Bumfield playing the premiership from Canberra. So, in the end, over the last decade, they've had a lot of good players over the last decade and also before that. And, when you get an AFL club coming back here to say, well, we'll sign a contract for 10 years and we're here forever, to be honest, that should be very inspirational for young kids around Canberra that might get to like AFL and love it like he did, James did, and obviously Aaron Hamill and these sort of boys. A lot of great AFL people come through and coach like Cowboy Neal and that. So I think the AFL Hall of Fame's coming here this year. I mean, that is unbelievable to move that out of Melbourne. It's like, never been hardly ever done in the history of the game. So that's going to be enormous up here for Canberra later in the year, Jim.
Great, yeah.
And then of course the Giants, we're going to pick the greatest team ever out of the Giants zone, which is obviously through Canberra, Wagga, Riverina, and the southern New South Wales.
Can you get the win without?
A nice photo of you and very young Nathan Buckley sitting next to each other in the front row.
Yeah, Bucks and I actually played together on that oval there back in, would have been under 11s or under 12s. A number of games at Reed Oval for the Ainslie Football Club. He was a year older than I was, but Ainslie was an amazing place for me. Great club, great centre of culture and atmosphere in Canberra. And I think people who have been in Canberra for a long time realise that AFL or Australian rules football has had a big impression on the people here. Obviously when rugby league came here with the Canberra Raiders, it dominated for a while, but to have the Giants back having home games here in Canberra at Manuka Oval is amazing for the local code and the people who love football in Canberra.
And what sort of memories will you'll be sparked when you head over to Manuka Oval?
I didn't play a lot at Manuka because they had the ground at Woden was sort of the home ground. I think I only played there 3 or 4 times. But
So you don't know the ground?
I know it better than you do, but it's a terrific ground, beautiful
You're
ground.
nervous.
The old MCG scoreboard still there, I think. So it's got a great feel, set in one of the most beautiful parts of Canberra, and our boys are looking forward to coming out and playing there.